plays video games all day, and his wife is fed up.
Hey, what's up? I'm not sure if you guys saw the most recent experimental patch, but Brig managed to go a full patch cycle without a single change. This is a big win for Blizzard. That's kudos right there. What better way to celebrate than sharing the advanced Brig guide? Alright, so getting right into it. Unfortunately, she is not as mechanically intensive a hero as Ana or even Moira. Not a whole lot going on in that department. So I only have a few cool mechanical tips to tell you about. So I'll start off with them, and then I'm going to get into the more advanced play styles and the nuance of playing Brig. You know, what there is of that. Alright, so first off are bash jumps. This is basically where you bash, but you do it up a slope or over a slope or something like that, and it gives you a little extra momentum, or it gets you up into a spot where you really shouldn't be as non-mobile Brig. And the physics of the momentum that you're going to be looking for, it feels a lot like a Doom punch when you're pressing spacebar or the jump button on console to get out and get that momentum and get into a spot you shouldn't be. It feels a lot like that. So really, when you're going to be doing these on your own without guidance or any specific spots, you're really just looking for a slope that it just kind of feels like you can get up as Brig, and it takes a little bit of practice to kind of figure out exactly what those are. And it's difficult to put exactly into words for when you're first picking it up, so I'm going to show you a couple clips of some I found on Blizzard where I was just wandering around for 3-4 minutes. Alright, so here we are. I was in a custom game, so I had Bash on a super short cooldown, so I didn't have to record this for like 20 minutes or so. I actually got it the first time, but there was no lead up to it. I don't want you guys to think I faked it or something. So here's me walking up and doing just a little bash to get up to the high ground on first point up Blizzard World attack. So you'll see I jump up on the crate, and then I slide right up. I'm going to put it back to that frame. Alright, so you'll see right here, I see that sloped surface right there, and you want to get right up into a, I don't really know what to call it besides a really good spot of the slope. And you'll pull out your shield and you'll press the bash button. And you'll just get that forward momentum up and over. And you just want to let it carry you up. Alright, I believe that this is the try I get it on this one. This one's a little less practical because there's not really any reason for you to be up on the left high ground as Brig. But if there's a Widow up there and your team really doesn't want to deal with it, and you really want to make her smash her monitor, then yeah, you could definitely use this spot. But as you'll see, I'm going to approach it, and I happen to identify it. I saw the slope on that rock right there. But you have to hit it right in the right spot. If you look on the rock, there's a little piece of geometry on the right that could prevent you from getting up. So you got to get right in that niche spot. That's why some of these aren't quite as practical for real game usage, but they're just interesting to find, I think. Some of them are helpful. But you'll see I managed to get right up, and I go on the high ground. Like I said, it's all about finding that little niche spot. I'm going to pull it over to that spot. This is at 30 frames, so I think. So you see I go right in the center there, and I go right where it's in that curve, but not where I'm hitting that geometry that would poke me out of it and just get me stuck in the middle of the rock. All right, on to the last one. All right, so this one, I swear I've made it on this one without having to do the extra jumps at the end, but I couldn't get it without having to do a little extra jump right there. So you'll see I tried to whip the area you're aiming for, that little, you can see that it creates a slope. The geometry looks like it's going to be steppy and you can't get up there. But what game designers do is they'll make the texturing look like that, the actual object look like that, but really the underlying mesh is just a slope in order to save on triangles and stuff like that. That might be wrong, but that's at least how I'm theorizing. But you'll see I'm able to get right up, and then I step up because there is a flat surface right on the top there that you can step on, because I'm pretty sure they intended for people to be able to get up there a little bit. And then you can be up on the high ground as Brig, which obviously not super practical, but maybe the enemy's standing right on the other side here, and they're being really annoying. You can just walk right up, surprise the crap out of them, and shield bash so they can't get away maybe. I don't know, just burn cooldowns. But that's Brig shield bash. Alright, so the only other mechanical tip I have for Brig is going to be regarding her main attack, her left click, or if you're on console, her right trigger. So if you're like me, you're always swinging. I'm very ADHD about swinging my thing all the time. Same with Brian Hammer and all that jazz. But what I find this tends to do is I'll have my shield up, and then I'll just go into swinging mode early. So I'll swing it, and I'll bash without wanting to, is the moral of the story. So a quick tip to get around this is With characters like Brig, I forget who else, but her melee button also works as her weapon swing, like Ryan's one I just thought of. So you can use this, and if you like holding it, you can hold the melee button. It'll, you know, hit them just like her melee normally would. But if you put her shield up, pressing the melee button will not trigger shield bash. Unlike where if you press melee in there, which is how you trigger shield bash, you can press the melee button as much as you want. And then when you put your shield up, keep pressing it. Get your ADHDing out, your tech's out, I don't know what it is. But you can press it all as much as you want, and it won't use your shield bash. Just a little tip. There's not much. I'm kind of scraping the bottom of the barrel when it comes to Brig with mechanical tips. Alright, so now we're moving on to Brig's playstyle. Alright, so generally what you'll want to do is just absolutely kamikaze into the team fight.
Let's get to work.
You're going to want to burn your cooldowns immediately, so you get those instant returns. You kill the enemies really quickly, you get all the ult charges, you get all the glories, your teammates can't flame, and they can't, you're the one on fire.
I'm on fire. Come on, try me. Ah!
And pretty much your game plan, what you're going in there to do is you're going to be flailing enemies whilst flaming your teammates.
Holy shit, what the fuck are you guys doing? You guys fucking suck. What is wrong with you?
You'll also want to ensure to utilize lines like "my back fucking hurts," tank diff, DPS diff, or you could even proposition that you enter into your teammates' failing marriages with their and become their wife's live-in boyfriend.
Holy shit, my back hurts. What a tank diff. Does your wife get a new boyfriend?
You know, they're all really good choices when you're playing as Brig. Alright, now that all the people who merely adopted Brig have left and they've queued up for their games, it's time for us people that were born in Brig. You'll tune in for the real Brig playstyle. Alright, so first up is going to be your resource pool utilization, and I say that it's meaning her shield and her health are both resources to Brig because of what her shield has become. So I'm going to show you some clips from a VOD of mine. This is going to continue on throughout this video. It's going to show how I utilize my shield and my health together. For instance, generally in the beginning of fights, I'm going to be shield hopping, which means I keep my shield up and hop around to maintain momentum, but I'm primarily leaning on my shield to absorb damage because I don't really want to take too much chip damage without triggering Inspire. However, as shield lowers and I risk not being able to use bash because my shield gets broken quick enough, I'll tend to transition to taking more damage to her as I trigger Inspire because that can be healed back up, versus my shield cannot be healed if it's being put up at the same time. Alright, so this clip here actually has a pretty decent example of how I utilize my shield and my health. Didn't play a ton of Brig recently, so I don't have a lot of examples. But this is a really quick one where I'm doing this ball here. I'm just going to let it play. So what you're going to see is I block the Echo projectiles with my shield, putting me to 100 shield. So at this point, I'm trying to keep it down because this ball is going to be fighting me for the foreseeable future. He has shields. He's trying to keep me occupied. So I'm fighting the ball. I only keep my shield up for a millisecond just to bash him. And then I keep going. I'm taking damage, but as you can see, Inspire is bringing enough health back that it's negligible. Let's play out and see what happens. But yeah, as you saw in that little clip right there, I'm not going to show you me dying because I don't ever die in comp. We won that fight. I killed them all. It was really, really cool. But what you saw there was I started letting Chip come to my health. Some of it I did not mean to. I did not intend to get to 60 health and then put my shield up. But then I put my shield up and let that take as much as I could. Unfortunately, I lost it, so I couldn't bash, which I was in a bad situation anyways. But you know, it's just little stuff like that. Brig, both of her resources are very important to keep up, and they're both very limited. So next up, we're going to be talking about her play style and how it changes based on the comp you're playing with and you're playing against. These next few clips actually are a better example of who you're playing against. So there's not really anything happening this fight, happening right now. There's not really a fight, and we actually just ended a fight, so I wouldn't really consider it a poke phase. But you'll see, I actually go and play really far up compared to how you would as a Brig. There's not really any value to me being up here besides maybe a few points of ult charge. But the reason I'm not further back is if you take a look at their comp, they've got a Genji, an Echo, a Ball, another Brig, a Mercy, and a Winston. None of those characters pose an immediate threat in regards to killing potential. So they don't have a Hanzo or a Widowmaker or something like that, or an Ashe with Mercy boost that could just dink me and I could be dead like that. The worst that could happen is the ball would have to jump me while Echo gets orbs and does her beam at me, which I don't foresee happening, considering their ball just died. But I can play this far up because I know their comp, and I know how my comp wants to play. Like Doom, he's looking for an opportunity, and so is Ball. So if I can draw a little bit of aggro and get them looking at me, that's fine. And especially with it's mainly focused on what they have here. It's not about what we have as much, but more what they have. Now this next clip is still with keeping their enemy comp in mind and with how you want to play. So I'm playing a little bit further back. I'm not further back, but I'm obviously behind my team here. I know that their ball is getting pretty close to ult, and they've always initiated with their ball. So basically what I'm waiting for is for him to PD. Preferably PD is pile drive, by the way. Preferably the ability you want to burn on ball or something diving you initially is your whip shot, just because of how strong your bash is and how weak you are without it and how diveable you are. So I'm waiting for the ball to try to jump on us since we're all piled together, and I'm looking to use my whip shot to get him out of the fight as soon as possible. So I'm waiting for him to do that. I'm setting myself up for that opportunity. You can see his shots on the left. I know he's there.
Bad guys, heads up.
Let's play out, and then you see the ball go up, and then I whip shot him. I happened to hit his ult a little bit out of where he wanted it, which was definitely good. But the main thing was whip shotting him out of his intended pile drive. Because of that, his team's dive is basically delayed for the next few seconds, and his mines are useless, and he's forced to find a new avenue to attack. So 3 big pieces of value just because I understood where I was, where I should be relative to their comp, and then also a little bit to my team's comp, but mainly it was about theirs. This is my final clip in response to enemy playstyle and how you play and enemy comp picks or whatever. So what you're going to see in this clip is their first, I believe it's their first dive after they've taken the first point. And the problem we had with that first point was our Ana getting dove. But I think my primary issue I identified during that fight was their Genji was getting a lot of value. So that's my prioritization here. So if you'll watch, helping our Widow not get dove, and I'm mainly focusing the Genji because I really want him out of the fight quick. My second objective then was healing the Ana, and then attacking the Winston that was attacking her. The reason I'm being so aggressive instead of letting the sleep wait is, number 1, our team can jump on him. They're right about to. And number 2, we've got the lead on the fight, and they're having to attack with our better spawns. So it's a little bit okay to be aggressive here, even if we lose our Ana. But I decided to still go back, peel for our Ana, get the ball off of her just in case. And then whip shot the ball, and I'm still focusing on this ball to keep him off our Ana. I'm just playing right around her because I know that's where they're looking to go. She hits the sleep, play with that, focus the ball. Anybody knows how to do that. That's where I'll pause it there. But you'll see, you want to identify what Brig excels at is identifying a team's weak spot and filling that hole. Whether it's in your team not having constant non-burst healing, if they're playing together and they could utilize that, or whether it's if your Ana or someone is having trouble getting dove, she can fill that spot and easily prevent that from happening or be a big problem for the team's divers, like their Doom and their Winston and their Ball or something like that. So next up, we're going to be talking about Inspire. You'll notice in this game, it's very easy to keep Inspire up, I'd say, just because of the amount of divers they have with Genji and Winston jumping in, as well as the Ball. It makes it very easy to trigger Inspire. But I can also play really aggressively to get Inspire going because of them not having any instant kills, no Widow Hanzo, like I said before. So I can be really aggressive with my cooldowns and with my positioning. So a very easy game, very easy for me to say, look how well I did, look at this. So from this first clip, what I want you to take away is that Winston's going to dive in. I'm going to get some hits on him, and then I instantly become less aggressive, as you'll see here. Because I did what I wanted to do. What I really wanted to do there was I had Rally going, but I also wanted Inspire to be triggered. So at this point, I can play a little bit safe. In the next few seconds, I'm going to be looking for a whip shot. I don't remember if I didn't go this far ahead. But I actually don't need to since I hit the Brig. I'm actually going to stop there because I actually make a poor decision next. I actually get a little bit... I'll show it to you because I definitely mess up sometimes too. I actually get too aggressive here. I want to kill this Brig. I get booped out. I thought that was their Doom because I heard the voice line. I didn't see the color. But I actually get too aggressive on the Brig, and then as I walk out, I get booped out. So definitely a mistake on my part, and they see that and focus me. Because even with Rally, I'm not unkillable. But as you'll see, once I've triggered Inspire, I can play a lot more passively. I play a little bit more aggressively when I've not gotten Inspire up, because without having that up, you're really not providing any value besides your typical Brig presence value. In this fight, as you'll see, really all I look to do is keep Inspire up and play as passively as I can, besides keeping it up, because my Ana gets killed. So you watch, I'm being very aggro in the beginning here, just because of, like I said, enemies can't one-tap me, so I can play aggressively. I'm being very aggro because I'm looking to hit somebody to bring Inspire up, because I want to keep my Inspire percentage time up, because without it, no value. So I'm looking for someone to keep Inspire up. I want to go for this ball, but there's no point pushing up that far on the bridge because of how close the enemies are. Sigma's coming up. I'm looking to get the ball like I showed before, but I hit it for Inspire. I can play passively right now because I have Inspire up. Now our Ana gets killed right there. So at this point, I'm playing a little bit passively. So I try to get the ball away from me, just play as safe as I can, heal our ball. I'm looking for another whip shot. I have Inspire back up, I can play passively, but at this point, it's almost contest time. I see our Sigma's about to die, and I'm too far away to heal him. So really at that point, I'm just trying to contest. But I then died. Put it into words, how you want to play with Brig with regards to Inspire is you want to be thirsty. When you don't have Inspire triggered, you need to be thirsty. You need to be looking for good whip shots. Change the thirst with regards to who's on the enemy team and how your team can enable that. You know, if they have a Widow and you don't have a shield tank, you don't want to be peeking corners and stuff just because you don't have Inspire up. But, you know, if you have a Rein and they have someone that's walking up forward like a Reaper, just communicate to your Rein like, hey, Rein, put shield up. I want to trigger Inspire. So he puts it up. You whip shot the Reaper, hopefully. But keep your thirst as high as possible with regards to how easily their team can make use of you being thirsty. All right, that's really it for my advanced Brig guide. I don't have a whole lot to talk about here. I do want to do more Brig content because people do seem to like it. She certainly seems to be getting a lot of play. So if you have any Brig VOD reviews you'd like to see reviewed, or you even just have any questions about Brig, please put them in the comments. Shoot me a DM, anything. If you have a VOD, just let me know. Otherwise, thank you for watching.